This coming up to Scott Bessent, and he says the IRS is about to hit banks with sweeping audits over their role in washing Minnesota money. Let's play that.
Funds, in addition to helping support criminal and civil enforcement efforts. The IRS will also soon announce the formation of a task force. Civil enforcement is auditing financial institutions that facilitated the laundering of Minnesota funds, in addition to helping support criminal and civil enforcement efforts.
Is that a deep fake?
No.
What the? That seemed weird.
I mean, I got to
listen.
No,
in the middle.
Yeah,
and then
it repeated.
Listen,
Yeah.
I have a take on this. It's not going to be popular. I have zero faith in this. I have no faith in the IRS. I mean, this is the same organization that lost to Scientology in the 90s because they were killing their dogs and like going in their houses and stuff, and they got scared of the Scientologists.
I mean, that's like the one federal organization left people are afraid of.
And I am not. I have zero faith in it. I mean, if you look at our tax system, it's a nightmare. Actually, being somebody that pays into the system, unlike leftists, I can tell you, like, they have no idea what they're doing. So no, I don't think this is.
Well, the problem with these, okay, I'll back that up somewhat. The problem with these executive agencies is, right, remember Lois Lerner at the IRS when they were targeting the conservative groups? Everybody's like, well, did Obama sit her down? And like, hey, you know what we should do? No, because what happens is the left has embraced this idea that they are morally superior. And so no one need to say a word. The ends always justify the means. So whatever position you're put into in the executive branch, great. Go ahead and abuse that in order to justify your means. Because after all, Obama's great, right? Biden's great. Kamala's great. And the other people's evil. So do whatever you want. So yeah, I mean, even if you have people running the IRS that are stretching for this, will the on-the-ground agents, many of which are going to be radical lefties, which is why they got in the government position in the first place, are they going to enforce it? I don't know. But the other side to that, though, is this is exactly what we should be doing. You could play whack-a-mole with the, street communist psychopaths that are out there, half them LARPing, and it's not going to put that much of a dent. But if you start going after the actual people that are funding them, now all of a sudden you'll start to see results.
I agree.
When you hit the wallet, right? Yep. Hitting the wallet is always the thing that is the most effective. And it's one of the most powerful tools of the U.S. government. It's freezing assets, hitting the wallet. In this case, you got a domestic terror group going after their wallet. Seems like it's completely fine. Of course, in this, though, in Minnesota, they're talking about something else. They're looking at the funding, which is happening around all of this fraud that they've seen. And that apparently that's what this is about. So the fraud itself, what I don't understand about this is what the hell is the IRS going to do here? What are they looking for exactly?
Exactly.
A task force for what?
Exactly, and why haven't they done it in the last 10 years? That's what I'm saying. Instead of getting on here and doing the speech where Ian literally thought it was AI, like, do the action first and then report it. I don't want your lip service. I don't want to say, oh, we're going to go after this. Arrest some people. Show the public, hey, this is what we did. Hey, this is why we missed it the last 10 years. Hey, we're sorry. Like, your taxpayers have been going to Somalia. Sorry about that. Maybe give us an explanation. Like, I
don't know, man. I feel we're one strongly worded letter away from like turning the corner, right? Like the old strongly worded letter, the results.
I think that the IRS has new digital tools that they want to test now on the American people. Well, they're going to start it somewhere on people that will get behind them and say, yes, use your new technocratic means to crush my enemies. Oh, in 8 years, you mean you're going to use it on me? I didn't mean to unleash that beast, but darn it. But anyway, it seems inevitable anyway. Like the digitization of the economy, they're talking about going to crypto economy. They're going to have complete control of assets. Banks can already debank you if you say bad words on TV. Nick Fuentes, for instance, that's not the bad word. That's the guy who got debanked.
But it's not going to be. It's not going to make them more effective at their job.
Good save, Ian. Good save.
Damn, we like Fuentes. Don't debank them.
So, well, help me out here too. A lot of people were saying that a lot of this is to cover up from the massive fraud which was uncovered recently at these various daycare centers, and that's what a lot of these protests are now about, is the local governments trying to cover their ass. So the question becomes, you're putting on your tinfoil hat, Ian. Do you think that there's some merit to that? Do you think that a lot of this was the local government there involved in this fraud, trying to obfuscate away from it, and successfully, it seems, has changed the national conversation away from the rampant fraud which was going on there?
Wow, dude. Man. Well, it would be premature to say, yes, I think that is true, but damn, I cannot discount that is possible. I think about it with the Epstein stuff too. I feel like that's a federal red herring that they want us to all complain and laugh while they're preparing for war in Iran and crashing the U.S. economy and getting us on crypto or gold. Yeah, that's totally possible. I mean, that daycare fraud came, huge story, and then a week later, riots and...
Right. Well, and George Santos came, and I think he hit it on the head. Like, you would think this is a slam dunk for the Republicans to go after this fraud, but he hit it on the head. He's like, look, this is both parties. Both parties are taking this money. Both parties, you know what I mean? Like, it's across the board. That's why there isn't any action on this. That's why it's been going on for 10 years.
The most exciting part of the Trump administration was Doge, right?
Yes.
And they absolutely nailed it.
Yep.
You know, I know he's been on the show before, but Mike Benz, he's been on a tear here talking about like the EU, right, and their censorship efforts of X. But one of the things he talks about is how the United States, through cutouts like the Atlantic Council and other NGOs, are actually sort of pressuring the European Union to censor X so that it could censor Americans, right? It's the same thing with the rest of these NGOs. That's what they're talking about with the IRS going after. It's like you set up this cutout, right? Then you need a patsy. So you go to these Somalians, you know, it's an insular community. Hey, we'll give you all this money. You keep a chunk of it. Our board keeps a big chunk of it. And it's so funny.
And then they launder it.
Yeah. So I forget that it's bad.
At their leering center.
They're leering.
Yeah.
Right. You know, they leered it somewhere.
This is a house of leering.
Yes. I'm leering a lot tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of
especially
leerage.
about primates.
Yeah.
But
It is Spanish, though, right? Leer is read.
I don't know, man. We speak
I have no
American
idea.
here.
Yeah, we
Do
speak
you
American.
usually use like just one word of the Spanish though?
Yeah, I know. It's leer and then ing on the end. It's like a mix. Yeah, all right.
The leering center.
It's so ridiculous, right? Imagine if you're like, let's just say you're, going back to black people upset with the Trump thing. Okay, fine, fair enough, whatever. Imagine that you're black and you live in Minneapolis and you're like, I'd like to start a daycare. I've lived here my whole life. My parents lived here. Their parents lived here. You're struggling. Can't make ends meet. You got 5 kids you're trying to watch. Meanwhile, someone comes over from Somalia, barely speaks the language. They're getting millions of dollars and they have no kids at their center.
Yeah.
Right? It is so on its face. Like these NGOs that do this stuff, it's so laughable. And the woman that was charged, I forget her name, but every time I debate a lefty on this, this is what they do. They're like, well, did you know that the woman who's the case is named of the 71 people, she's a white lady? It's like, yeah, white ladies suck too.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. I'm well aware that there are white Democrats that are setting this all up. And yes, they should go to prison too. But as always, they try to lump it in like, oh, it's just because you hate Somalians. No, it's because I hate the fraud that's coming in. By the way, send all the illegal Somalians back.
Were you?
Yes, get them out.
Were you suggesting that the NGOs are funding? They just pick a patsy organization like we'll do Somalians in Minneapolis or Minnesota right now, and then that gives the IRS basically, a right to now go do some new technocratic authoritarian behavior. Was that what you were saying?
I don't think it's new technocratic. Like, I don't think it's any surprise that the IRS has tools and the ability and the want to audit the shit out of people. Right. And so when you have an organization that is geared on investigating finances, the idea that we wouldn't use those tools to save billions upon billions of dollars that's being used fraudulently seems to be ridiculous. Now, do I want the IRS to develop new, telepathic powers or some shit or whatever, some crazy tech power? Maybe not. But I think utilizing the IRS when there's clearly things that are going wrong. I mean, after all, how'd they get Al Capone? Right? Tax evasion. So the idea, it's like, look, if one of the ways we could get these people is to show that through their fraud that they're supporting these financial institutions, there are problems that showed up on their taxes. I'm all for it.
The IRS isn't going to do shit. They haven't done shit in 10 years out there. The only people they punish are the people that are actually paying into the actual net taxpayers that pay into the system. Those are the people that get punished. That's all they're good at. They're only good at going after people that actually are.
Let's take a look at this video. The protesters keeping Waltz awake.
Rapunzel, throw down your support for your voting base.
Come on. You have a lot of lights on. Dinner's got to be done by now. We haven't heard from you in a very long time.
So they're not happy. They're not thrilled. They're upset. Right, that there was any sort of working with the Trump administration, and clearly they're going to continue this.
It's smart. It's smart politics on their side, right? You never want to rest on your laurels, right? So they're going to take it. Perceptually, what you want to do is say, we're winning, but we're not winning enough. We got to go further. No cooperation. I used to say this. You remember when they freaked out when Elon was buying X? you would talk to a lefty, you would debate them, and you'd say, hey, man, 95% of social media is controlled by like rabid lefties. That's so unfair. And they'd be like, we agree, that's unfair. It should be 100%. Right? That's their mentality. Always on offense, always winning. Right? And so I can see why they're doing this here. The one good part of this, like if you want a little schadenfreude, look, man, the lefties get the wall too at the end of this, right? And so the idea that someone like Tim Walz isn't going to be, remember when he said, he's like, I don't like that they're coming and they're calling me a retard. I don't like that they're doing that.
funny.
Like, it's like, yeah, these lefty mobs are going to turn on you. It's not just going to be the right wingers. Ask Kristen Sinema, ask Joe Manchin. Right. And so you got to stay lockstep with them the whole time. So, yeah, good for you, Walz. I hope you're not sleeping tonight.
Well, this is not my position, Andrew, but yeah, this was the opposition. This is 100% my position. 100%. That they would, disrupt with working with Walz, like they would disrupt the left, and now the left going after Walz is kind of what, the idea of them with the stand down or whatever you want to call it, like to kind of start. That's kind of the idea. Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, we see this here, like.
Well, I think that the idea is exactly what Rob's saying, that they're always going to stay on offense now. You have to understand this campaign for them has worked. This has been a successful campaign for the terrorists, for the Antifa terrorists. This has not been a successful campaign for the Trump administration. And they're continuing their winning streak. And you can argue that point, I suppose, but these arrests, they're going to get thrown out. We know they're going to get thrown out. We know that this is leading up to more and more and more and more. It's been like this since Trump was elected. As it goes, it's going to get worse and worse. Everyone's geared up for it. Their own internal communications prove it. That's what's going to happen. So they're going to stay on offense here.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think Trump going in with the boot, I think that is the best play, honestly, obviously. But yeah.
So let's look at this is Frontline's TPUSA. They're asking an ICE protester his reasoning for being outside of Minnesota Governor Walz's house.
What would be your message to Tim Walz right now?
I mean, I just wanted him to come and talk to us. I mean, that's really like, tell us what's going on, at least be a little transparent. We're transparent what we're asking for, so I just think he should be transparent back.
And do you feel as if Tim Walz has completely went against the left and the people that got him elected in the first place?
That's what it seems like right now. And I mean, but again, we don't know. I think we're just speculating, but it'd be nice to hear from him because it appears that way. Having ICE show up to the government center and arrest two people that were meeting with their attorneys yesterday is a completely escalation, in my opinion.
And in your opinion, what can he do to mend what has been broken right now to make things right?
For me personally, it would just be transparent. Either way, be transparent with us. I think that's what I look for.
Is there any shock that he's
now,
gay?
This is such an effective tactic. The tactic here being that if in any way, shape, or form you're not doing what this lunatic base that you have molded for yourself wants, they're going to turn against you, which gives every incentive for those particular politicians to enact their insane agenda. And this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing on our side with the Trump administration, saying the exact same thing that they're saying. Hey, wake up, Trump. Get them down there. Let's get some arrests moving. You call them domestic terrorists. You have allocated resources to Antifa being a domestic terrorist group. Where's the arrests?
Yeah.
Just
why are we rounding these terrorists up?
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.